Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mark, aka Christ from Nick Nine, coming to you a live upload live stream here. It is Saturday night, 11:45 to 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what that time is? It's time for weekend news. You're right. I say 11:45, 2 o'clock because there's days where I'm playing games and it's like doing things about 1, 2 o'clock. Other time to do it 11:45 or so. So weekend news. 50525. Game Xbox prices are hurting GameStop and what this means and Gaming in a whole means for gaming in whole news. If you guys looked at my stuff and looked at myself and looked at how I do things, you know that I try to keep myself um you know positive as much as possible. And you really can't sometimes. You really can't because we're going to discuss again the price increases of the Xbox and how it's hurting GameStop mostly for from circumstance. And I think the biggest issue is with GameStop as a whole, the company is not based upon used games anymore. Yes, they sell games. Yeah, they do. But if you go into a GameStop, you'll see the Nintendo Switch area bigger than or big as PlayStation and Xbox area, or just as big. PC area is working into a small little cubbyhole practically now, and they won't go to PC because hell's bells having a PC store that sells PC stuff. No, we ain't got a Micro Center in Clarksville, Tennessee. If we get something like a GameStop that sells PC hardware, that's close to a Micro Center we know we're gonna get in my town, and maybe your town too, maybe. So you could be relegated to just a small little mom and pop PC place, but still, it's something better than nothing. But they won't do it because it's not profitable. To them, trading cards are more profitable. And yes, I see it. But when's the bubble going to burst? Magic Gathering was good. It cooled off for a while and came back. Um, Pokemon's still been good. But when to say that the bubble's going to burst? What happened? The bubble burst next year. What then? Guess what happens? GameStop's out of business for sure because now they had to have no games and no trading cards. I walked around there. I saw a lot of crap that was clearance. A lot of you know, Mandalorian stuff. That's how Mandalorian had haven't shot a new series in what, over a year or two, maybe longer than that. So if you get new to my channel, this is open dialogue. If you get new to my channel, go down below and elbow drop the like button, smash that subscribe button. Helps channel a lot. Helps me a lot too as well. And also, it's almost late, but today's the last day to be subscribed to my channel and qualify for the um, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate 1 month card to be given away through the starting on the 10th to the 16th next Saturday. So today's the last day to get in there and hop on board. Um, and the rules would be dealt with on next Saturday. Will be dealt with the rules and qualifications, but you never know. You might join up and have an Xbox and they can't afford them price increases in those Xbox games at Ultimate coming up soon. Speaking of the Xboxes, though, really, in GameStop too, though, in GameStop, how is this going to hurt them? You might ask. Um, um, it may not be the best thing in the world for you um, to really understand why what's really going on at GameStop. But when you're a company that sells games, used games, I mind you. Hello, whoever you are, and thanks for joining. Um, It's probably gonna be boxing, probably, and boxing's cool. Boxing is cool. He joins. I appreciate you guys joining my channel, whoever you are out there in the world of the outer web and the interweb. Um, the biggest caution I have, Microsoft, and it just increased prices. This came out May 1st, but the Xbox Series S 512 gigabyte. That is a budget gamer's dream. $380 from 300. No longer a budget gamer. That's approaching premium price. And yes, I made the creed. We're going to do step by step how I feel about each one of these. I know I did the big gigantic oh my god reveal, but this weekend news we're going to step back and look at this. More than 25% increase. So you're telling me that Microsoft has to increase their base model Xbox One or Xbox X Series 25% more. How about the Xbox X S Series at 1 terabyte, $430 from 350, 430 from 350 to 430, 350 to $430, 22 price increase, 22%. That is still in the 20% mark, 20% zone. How about the Xbox One X, 1 terabyte digital, 500 from 450. Once again, another 22% increase. The Xbox Series X, one with Blu-ray, 600 from 500, 20% increase. Series X, 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special, $730 from $600, 22% increase. And lead controllers are $200. Some third party games would be $80 for games. This holiday season, Microsoft for the last two seems more lenient on Nintendo's switch to game pricing, but they're all negative. But it's not all negative. Console prices release to catch up before you wipe out the credit card. Remember, the key Xbox platform is currently 5 years old. So, of course, everybody's talking about the X 1 terabyte. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it. You can get the best deals at Walmart here. It says Walmart you can get up to 274. Um, Another Walmart for the Xbox X 1 terabyte you can get for 370, 347, 247, 347, 448 wired controller at Walmart.com. Say $45. Um, the Xbox X Series 1 terabyte digital console, full 48 and 450. You're only saving like a few bucks there on that one. You're only saving like a few dollars. Not much at all though. But I think the big savings is probably the controller are the biggest savings. You're saving $15 on the Xbox Wire Controller Red, and the digital one Elite Series 2 it's 101 compared to 150 to $50. Sold out prices. The Xbox X Series Blu-ray console, the standard one, the one that came out, Amazon $560. So, guys, we're seeing the downfall of a lot of these things. And gaming in general, guys, is really something to me. Um, and even GameStop here has declined. Revenue 2025 was $3.823 billion, a 27% 28% decline from 2024. GameStop annual revenue 24 was 5.273 billion, a 11% decline from 2023. Annual 2023 was 5.92 billion, a decline of 1.39 from 2022. Um, and it's still closing stores. I think the biggest problem in the situation is though, and I think the biggest problem is with a lot of people today is physical media is not selling, and everybody knows this. Everybody knows that GameStop is not making money anymore. When you go from 5 billion to 3 billion, that's a 27% drop. That's a 30. If you go from 2024, 2022, from 2025, that is a 30% drop. Okay, let's break out the calculator here. Let's break out the calculator. Let's check this out here. Okay, let's check this out. Let's get some math in here. Okay, so let's do 27. Okay, so let's go 27.5, percent, obviously. 27.5%. I'm trying to do this stuff and 0.5. One. It's almost a 40% drop if you add all those together, because it's almost 40%, about 39.93% roughly. So let's say 40% drop that GameStop is losing, and this news from Microsoft is not helping them at all, folks. So I'm telling you now, Walmart was right to get out of selling games. Best Buy is too, because they're seeing the writing. It's on the writing on the wall 2 or 3 years ago. I thought they were losing their minds, but seeing how the game industry right now is going down the toilet, and how the game community just sitting back and letting it happen, it's really rough for us to really understand why. Why did we get here? How did Xbox become this useless entity or a laughing joke? It started back with the Xbox One reveal, way back in 2013. Always online, DRM, no use game, blah 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 blah, and it totally torpedoed their goodwill. It sank their 360 battleship even before they even had a chance to reap the benefits of it. They had a great year. Granted, they lost at the end to Sony because Sony finally found secret formula, and they put it on a platform, put it in the air, and lightning bolt hit it, and Frankenstein that situation, and they created themselves a great platform. Something that Microsoft been trying to do since the debacle of the Xbox One. But when you have car dealerships on 360, when you have pizza ads, when you have Nike shoe ads, you're going in the wrong direction. Gamers don't care about buying a Lexus or a Nissan. They don't care about going to Nike and buy tennis shoes. They want to play games. They want to play those games. They don't care about stupid crap like that. They want to play games. I think that's why people don't understand, or now if I understand, the gamer is just not some stupid schmuck that you push stuff in front of them and they go buy something. The gamer can be very, very intellectual. I know some gamers of mine who have IQs over 100, 120, who are really smart. They play games because they like to play games, but they're extremely smart individuals. And I got friends who are not very smart who play video games because, once again, it's a hobby that anybody can get into. You ain't gotta be a genius or a retard to understand this. You just have to just love the passion for games and story driven, or first person chaos. You like to run around and you know think you're saving the world from global terrorism, or you're launching those airstrikes or whatever, or your battlefield, and you think you're running across the battlefield, dodging bullets, and think you're just some action hero, whatever. Or you think you're just Laura Croft, doing her Tomb Raider stuff. Or you think you're Helldiving 2 and Helldiver, or you think you're Starfield. Starfield's coming out for PlayStation, I think this year, next year. I think this year. And that game's going to be $80 easy. Is it worth $80? Probably not. I play Starfield a lot on the Game Pass Ultimate. It was fun, but no, it was nothing to write home about. You can go, yeah, phone call. Yeah, that's all you need to do, phone call about it. But yeah, so GameStop itself is losing money. This ain't helping. Um, it ain't gonna help them. Um, I think I think people just don't understand it. That maybe it's time for them to throw in the towel. GameStop to finally get rid of the games and go into it because Microsoft right now is on board with the $80 up. They took effect March 1st, 4 days ago. It took effect, so there is no waiting. There is no well wait till Christmas. No, the games are now. And what happens about the games on day one? Game Pass Ultimate, guys, you're going to see Game Pass Ultimate go up in price. There's no doubt in my mind, Game Pass Ultimate is going to increase. There's no way they can increase consoles. No one's going to buy the damn consoles now, so they got to increase the price of Game Pass. If they increase price of Game Pass, hey guys, we're putting every damn Call of Duty game ever made on Game Pass Ultimate, putting every game from Activision on there, every game from Rare, every game from Ubisoft. No, well not Ubisoft, but Bethesda, the other crap ton of things they created. Every indie game, every whatever game, all the Activision games going back to Atari 2600 will be on Game Pass Ultimate, so we got to raise it like $30 or $10 more. You know what? Then it'll be a damn playground for your older adults to play Atari games on, or then it'd be worth a lot of money because then you have a lot more on there to do. But they don't. Game Pass Ultimate, guys, is good, but it's not Steam. See, the Xbox trying to make Game Pass Ultimate the Steam, and it can't because like Highlander, there can be only one. So Microsoft tried to buy Steam at one time. Steam didn't sell because Steam's making billions of dollars, and they know the formula. All they gotta do is keep publishers their way. Even Microsoft putting games on their system and making them a lot of money. I think like 70-30. I think like 70-30 or 60-40 or whatever it is. Steam gets 40% and the game publisher gets like 60%. So it is a lot more profitable for them than it is going to GameStop. So since the word going to GameStop don't see that much. And GameStop may see 20%. I've heard one guy told me who'd manager at GameStop told me one time. Side note here though, about 10, 12 years ago, that they only get 20% per sale of brand new games. Brand new games, they only get 20% of that game sale. So a game can cost like 60, $50. They only get 20% of $50. No, you do the math for that one. That's not even enough money to put gas in your car nowadays. But every game that's used for $54 or $50, they get 100% of the sale because now it's fair use and it's under their name. They can do what they want with it, and they sell it and they make tons of money off it. And I remember that kid bought a new Xbox. I bought this. I bring this up here. I got an Xbox One myself for I bought mine. Connect version. I got the One X for Christmas about 2018 or so, 2017. I love it. I still love it. Still use it today. The Xbox One X. This girl and her mother came in and say, "Hey, I want a new Xbox One, Xbox One Standard Edition, Xbox One, Connect and everything else." And she got it for like a prize or whatever because she did whatever she did, school project or whatever, and she's gonna get these games. Of course, the salesperson just turns it on. You can buy a used game that work just as well as new. Oh yeah, you save money too. So she's getting 360 games, Xbox games that work on it, and getting these used games, and that's tons of money for GameStop. That's what their clientele needed to be. Nowadays, people are buying games on PC, phones, tablets, or streaming them from Amazon Luna. They're not, or going to Game Pass Ultimate. They're not going to GameStop. So I put Starfield on here because allegedly Starfield will probably be the last $70 game, if it's $70 at all. It could be $80 on PS5. That being said, is that going to sell very well? It may sell well because Days Gone sold very well. Not Days Gone, not Days Gone, but other game that came out. I can't remember what it's called. There's a lot of games that the games with Ultimate could put on PlayStation. A lot of games that they have, State of Decay 2, State of Decay 1, they can put those, on a combo unit. They can turn that, into a combo unit where you're like, here's your State of Decay 1 and 2, compilation disc. You get two games the price of one for $80, even though it came out in Game Pass way, way long time ago. Once again, it's a brand new game going to PlayStation and maybe even Switch too. Not a lot of people haven't played it before. They don't know much about it. So, okay, cool. I'll give it a try. I'll go buy this. And Forza on PS5 is doing pretty well. I'm hearing it looks very beautiful on PS5. The controllers work better with it because it has that all that digital whatever controller stuff on there. So there's a lot of things that Microsoft is doing that GameStop can't prevent. The problem with GameStop is, and people ask me what happened to GameStop one time. People asked me on GameStop. What happened to GameStop was they forgot why they were there. GameStop is not a place for mover and shakers. It's a gaming store. You go there, you buy a game, you buy this, and you go home. It's not, it ain't the business. You're not in the game industry working at GameStop. You're just a puppet. You're just a gear and a cog. Okay, you're a gear in the gigantic cog called retail. And then that's what you are. And if people say, oh, no, I'm part of the game industry, you're not. Because you're just a worker bee that works and just dust off game cartridges or game packs or whatever cases, and that's being truthful to you. No, no, I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings or anything. I'm not. I'm just telling you point blank truth. Your main job is to sell somebody game awards and crap like that. Now you're not a mover and shaker. You're not having lunch with Phil Spencer or CEO of GameStop every day. So you're just sitting there in that store. And that's what GameStop pretty much is to a lot of people now. It's just a place where you go buy something and you go home. You don't hang out in GameStop. You don't hang out in GameStop, talk to people. I do because I know people who work there and I talk to them for a little while. I bought the controller I reviewed. This controller is amazing, by the way. I got it paired up. I got it updated with new firmware. And I'll do a better review on it here in a few weeks. Oh, and this is the one I reviewed yesterday. Smells nice. Throw texture gets really warm when you have that uh, the LED on, the RGB, but it's pretty sweet. And you can change it too as well in the app. Download the app application and stuff. But what I'm saying, guys, is this here in closing in a few minutes here is that GameStop is not the friend of the people. GameStop is a company you go to just to buy some games. You don't go to GameStop to further anything other than just your gaming industry, because you're not part of the game industry working at GameStop. You're just a, like I said, you're a gear in a cog. You're a gear in a gigantic cog called retail. And Microsoft exploited GameStop for all they wanted. Now they're going to now put the death blow on them by raising prices of games. And when I went in there, people were not buying Xbox games. The lady told me behind the table, I went in there today, that she was like, yeah, more so wait for Sony to drop the other foot. When Sony drops that other shoe, it's an $80 game too. No, GameStop is officially done because there's no way they can survive with $80 games, especially when you can go on Steam and get those games 5 months later cheaper. Now, even 10, even $20 cheaper is a deal on these games. So I tell people, you know, Console gaming, guys, is coming to an end eventually because PC expensive. They're selling 5-year-old hardware for $700, $800. Explain to me again how brand new PC gaming is too expensive, and yet you're buying a 5-year-old system that has old hardware that's obsolete by 5 years. Granted, I got a 3070. My 3070 still smokes both those consoles, even the PS5 Pro. Granted, is it capable of running games in ultra settings? Not every game because it has limitations. But you know what though? I work around them, and I got a gaming rig so I can do a lot more. And I watched Crap Gamer today talk about how he doesn't like PC gaming because he's a console gamer. That's fine, but even he understood that the Xbox, PlayStation, are in deep trouble, especially Microsoft. Microsoft wants to get rid of Xbox so bad they can taste it, and they don't care how they do it, by hook or by crook. They care less. All they care about is getting rid of Microsoft and get rid of Xbox, because Xbox to them is just that, it's a turner to WCW kind of thing. Time Warner didn't like WCW wrestling, kept it around on the computer on because it had good ratings. They knew nothing about the wrestling business. Microsoft knows nothing about the game industry. They don't care. They call Xbox, Microsoft games, and just has a set top box that has Microsoft on it that plays Microsoft Game Pass Ultimate. They don't care. They don't care. And GameStop, literally caught in the crossfires, and they're taking bullets, and they can't get out of the way. And that's why I keep telling people, if you're a GameStop employee, you might want to get a resume wrote up now, because eventually or soon they're going to start closing more stores down because of this. This might be a catalyst for them shutting down more stores. The Xbox PlayStation too high. Oh, 5 stores not working out. Close 5 here, 5 here, 100 there, 200 there, 1,000 there. They had 6,000 stores about 10 years ago. Now they're down to 3,000 stores. I have 2 stores in my area. One, Governor Square Mall, is pretty much a dead mall practically. All purposes, it's kind of a dead mall. Still shoppable, but to be honest, I can be honest with myself. And one over at Single Walmart that has closing down strip mall areas that had more closings than they have more closings than Century 21 does. And I think that's the biggest problem with them, is understanding why in the world they got there in the first place. GameStop folks allowed themselves to fall down to mediocrity. GameStop allowed themselves to go down this road of just irrelevance boulevard. And when they try to turn to go back on the highway of relevancy, it's too late. They're taking side roads, and they're still not getting to the main road. And they probably won't, because they're relevant now. They're like that. Like the antique store that shut down because it's no longer relevant because there's five more antique stores that have better antiques than that one you used to go to when you were a kid. Exact same premise. So I'm telling you guys, let's not sit there and let's not sit there and kid ourselves. Okay, Xbox is pretty much going to be the one with PlayStation. If they do the same thing, it's going to be killing the GameStop off completely off of games. They'll still be around. They'll probably sell playing cards and trading cards, and sell maybe some Steam cards, maybe Xbox, PlayStation cards, all digital stuff. But no, they'll be relegated to just a whatnot store. They sell whatnot. They don't sell anything worthwhile anymore. They're not part of the system. They're just the gear and the cog, and that's all they are. And that's really sad for them because a lot of my friends or work friends, people I know, there for years, worked there and make good career, very good, honest people. And because of that, to me, is why GameStop's failing. And Xbox been failing since day one, but they took a big hit at the E3 2013, or what do you call it, the Xbox Showcase, when they released the Xbox One and announced it to the world, and that abomination, folks. You can take so much stuff, and and I hear you. You guys are tired of people talking about this, but the Game Pass, the Xbox could have been a lot more if they cared more about what they were doing. They cared more about what they're doing and less about trying to be in everybody's home all the time. They probably have a better idea of what needs to be done, and not be running around trying to figure out and how to solve the problems in the world that they created. No one likes a family member that creates their own problems and tries to drag everybody else into it. GameStop is that way. Microsoft's that way. And I think that's bad for a lot of people. But you guys can hear this, that Microsoft and GameStop are pretty much almost the same. Just one's a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that surpassed Apple being number one, and one's just GameStop. You know, on a unrelevant entity that has borrowed time for the last 10 years, been on borrowed time, and eventually, GameStop will fall. And once they fall, it's going to be ugly because it's going to be total chaos. Or it may be a fart in the wind. Who knows? Fact of the matter is, guys, it's going to be difficult. This is Crisis with 9, aka Mark. Peace, love. See you guys later. See you around. See you guys, everybody. See you around. Be cool.